She slid the paper across the table like she was doing me a favor. Neatly printed. Company letterhead. The numbers were bold and final. "Accept the 60% salary reduction," she said loud enough for the junior staff to hear, "or I'll find someone who will." My wife. No hesitation in her voice. No remorse in her eyes. Just that corporate mask she wore so well, polished with rehearsed power. I stared at the paper for a moment. I heard a snicker in the back. A few turned their heads, pretending they weren't listening. But they were. Everyone was. "I need 24 hours, I said calmly. I didn't blink. She smiled tight. Professional. Victorious. That night, I made one call. They'd been waiting for me. It wasn't always like this. We met in the break room 7 years ago. She just joined HR. I was already leading product development. She was sharp, unapologetic, rising fast. I admired her for it. We built something real, or so I thought. Marriage came after the first IPO. She called us a power couple. We shared the same vision, the same drive. Or maybe I just believed the words she fed me. I built the engine. She polished the chrome. Together, we helped that company grow from 15 employees to 300. Then came the new board, the restructuring, the vultures in tailored suits, and her. She pivoted fast, became the board's favorite mouthpiece, and started showing up to meetings where I wasn't invited. I didn't think much of it. Not until she stopped coming home with ideas and started coming home with orders. I dismissed it, called it stress, blamed the pressure. The betrayal came slowly, in whispers and calendar invites, until the day she made it public, deliberate, humiliating. I replayed that meeting again and again on my drive home. She'd done it in front of my team, people I'd trained, mentored, and carried through downturns. She made it clear I was expendable. She didn't even flinch when she said it. It wasn't a company decision. It was hers. I remembered her email from 2 nights before. "Let's not bring work into the house." She already had. That's when the shift happened. The pain didn't last long. It calcified into something colder, cleaner. I didn't cry. I calculated. I started with a competitor. The one she kept mocking in board meetings. "They're bleeding money," she'd said, desperate for innovation. They weren't. They were liquid, aggressive, and waiting for someone who knew where the pressure points were. I made my offer in one sentence. "You give me equity and silence, I give you a surgical strike." They agreed in under an hour. Step 1, I cleaned house. Every proprietary document, every system blueprint I had architected, I backed up. Not to leak, to prove authorship. Step 2, I contacted the original CTO, the one she'd helped push out a year ago. He was bitter and grateful to hear from me. Together, we started outlining the launch of a new product, ours, faster, smarter, untraceable. While she thought she was cutting off my blood supply, I was already building a new heart. Step 3, I stayed quiet. I went to work the next morning like nothing happened. I signed the paper, nodded along in meetings, and watched her glow as she spun the narrative, how sacrifices were necessary, how leadership meant making hard choices. She didn't know I'd already submitted my resignation. Delayed delivery. Timestamped to hit the board 5 minutes after my revenge. D-Day arrived on the morning of the shareholders' meeting. I showed up dressed like I still worked there. Nobody questioned me. Old habits. At 9:05 a.m., while she was on stage talking projections and retention strategies, the competitor dropped their announcement. A mirror product, same framework, better execution, faster time to market, fully patented. My name on the architecture. Screens lit up across the room. I watched panic ripple across the board members' faces. She kept talking, oblivious, until the first phone buzzed. Then the next, and the next. Her voice faltered. She looked at me. I smiled. She approached me during the break, not in anger, but in desperation. What did you do? She whispered. I leaned in. What you taught me, I said. I found someone who would. The fallout was immediate. By noon, the stock had dropped 17%. By end of day, 31%. Investors pulled out. Contracts vanished. The board demanded answers. My resignation landed in their inboxes like a nail in a coffin. She tried to spin it, called it sabotage, claimed I breached the NDA, but I didn't. I'd written those NDAs. I knew every clause, every loophole, every blind spot. She hadn't noticed. I wasn't the one who violated company policy by pushing a unilateral pay cut without board approval. That was her. I wasn't the one who orchestrated a public HR humiliation. That was her. They turned on her faster than I expected. By Friday, she was out. No severance, no statement, just an empty office and a dozen legal letters. I heard she tried to sue, but the competitor hired a better lawyer. People think revenge needs noise. It doesn't. It needs silence, timing, and patience. She played chess like it was checkers. Thought humiliation was power. That taking my pride would keep her in control. But power is not in the spectacle. It's in the patience, the quiet, the waiting. I didn't yell. I didn't fight. I just watched her pull the pin and handed her the grenade. Now I sit across town, corner office, clean view, new team. I build, I lead, I create, and every now and then I check her LinkedIn. It still says open to work. Poetic. She tried to reduce me to 40% of a man. Now she's worth less than zero, and I'm just getting started.